Hi guys, so today we have my friend's mom. She's gonna be here to help me demonstrate how to do makeup on more mature skin. So to prime her face, I'm gonna use a couple items. I'm gonna be using the blue serum, which is gonna help with evenness and any inflammation that she may have, as well as redness and all that. And I'm gonna use a Huge Beauty Flash. So this is my favorite primer that I like to use for those who have more mature skin or drier skin. It acts as a primer pretty much, so it's gonna give you instant hydration, but it has a blurring effect. So it's perfect for mature skin and dry skin. I also primed her lid with the Urban Decay Potion Primer. I feel like that primer pretty much works for everybody. So for foundation, I'm gonna go in with the Vita Lumiere Aqua Foundation, and I'm just going to be applying that with a flat top kabuki brush. And I'm using a lot of pressing motions. I'm not doing a lot of dragging motions. I'm pretty much just patting it and pressing it into her skin. With more mature skin, you know, their skin isn't exactly like a 20-year-old's, like it's not very taut, and there's some sagginess in some areas, and there's fine lines. And if you use a very drying foundation and if you don't moisturize correctly, a lot of those textures and those fine lines will show through, and that's not what you want when you're applying makeup. You don't want to make any imperfections more prominent, and you kind of want to blur those out. And so that's why I definitely use a Huge Beauty Flash, because it pretty much blurs everything. And the Vita Lumiere Aqua, I feel, is a perfect one for people with mature skin, because it's very lightweight, but at the same time it provides the perfect amount of coverage with it still looking like skin, and it's gonna give them a glow still. So I just pretty much applied it all over her face, and then I went in with a more detailed brush to go in with into the more detailed areas of her face, like, you know, around the corners of her nose and on her eyelids. And I'm just going in with that same flat top kabuki brush, and I am pressing it, just patting it into her skin. Now I'm going in with the Soleil Tan de Chanel Cream Bronzer. It's marketed as a makeup base, but I like to use this as a cream bronzer, as does most of the YouTube world. And for mature skin, I do want to give their skin a little more dimension, but powders can be a little drying, so I like to use creams because creams tend to be a little more natural. So I am going to go in with that same foundation brush that I used. I'm not adding any product onto it, and I'm just going to go in and blend everything out. Same tapping motions. I'm not doing a lot of dragging motions because I don't want to disturb the foundation underneath, and I don't want to, you know, tug on her skin. So I'm just doing a lot of patting motions. Next, we're going to set her makeup with the Le Beige powder in number 20. This is my favorite powder for setting anyone who is dry to mature. Well, technically this powder can be used for anybody, but it's pretty much a powder that doesn't look like a powder, and it gives the most pretty glow. It gives the most natural and beautiful glow to the skin. It still sets the makeup, and as you can see, her skin just looks amazing at this point. It pretty much just perfected it. And I'm just using this powder to set all over her face, her eyelids, everywhere. And then I'm gonna bump up 2 shades. So I use number 20 to set her face, and I'm gonna go in with number 40. So just 2 shades darker, and I'm gonna use that to just emphasize her contours a little bit and just, you know, give that a little more oomph. And then for blush, I'm gonna go in with the Morphe 9B palette, I believe, and with an angled blush brush, I'm just going to apply it on her cheekbones. And then going in with that same powder brush we used earlier, I'm just going to blur everything out. And then for highlight, I just used a YSL highlighter. It's my favorite highlighter for a more natural look. Now she already has a very nice shape going on, and I'm just going to go in and emphasize what she already has. I'm going with very short and quick strokes just to mimic the drawing of hairs, but I'm just filling in. I'm not drawing an entirely new eyebrow on her, but I'm just making it a little more full at the head, and then just filling in the tail a little bit. Okay, and then now we're going to be doing eyeshadow. For her transition color, I'm going to be using Anastasia Beverly Hills single eyeshadow in the color Stone. And that's just going to emphasize the crease of her eyes and just kind of give it a little more oomph. You are more than welcome to just stop here. But I mean, I'm just using this as her first color just to, you know, just frame her eyes and just to define her crease a little bit. I'm using a fluffy brush and I'm using a lot of circular motions. A fluffy brush is best for this initial color because it's going to lay the color down in a very wispy, very smoky fashion. Next, I'm going to go in with the MAC Single Eyeshadow in the color Cork, and I'm just going to use that to define the outer corner of her eye just a little more, just to give it a little more depth. And I'm going to blend that out with the same fluffy brush that we used earlier with another clean, fluffy brush. And then for her all over the lid color, I'm going to go in with MAC's All That Glitters. And I'm going to use a flat synthetic brush and I'm just going to pat it all over her eyelids. And it's just going to give a little more life, a little more emphasis to her eyes. Shimmery pigments actually make the skin look smoother. Matte colors on the eyes will bring out the texture. So I went very lightly with the matte colors and I like to emphasize her eyes with some shimmers. So with a pencil brush, I'm going to run Cork all over her lower lash line just for some balance. And then we're gonna skip eyeliner and just go straight to mascara because this is meant to be a very natural but enhancing look. It's like an everyday look. And I am using the Le Volume mascara from Chanel. It is an amazing mascara. And I'm just gonna give her top lashes a couple of coats. And this is just gonna bring the perfect amount of emphasis to her eye. And then for lips, I'm just gonna go in with a very simple lip gloss just to emphasize the lips, just to give the lips a little more pop. And then for some dewiness to set her makeup, I'm gonna go in with the Chanel Hydra Beauty Essence Mist. It smells amazing and it feels amazing. And with that, your look is done. I hope you guys found this video helpful and found, you know, some useful tips with this video. And I will see you guys again next time. Bye!